After one of our long, perfect dinners, I drove him home to Peekskill. He would always joke about how his science class was superior to my history class, but deep down he loved the humanities. Looking out the car window, he saw a wooded area and began to recite Robert Frost's "Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening" verbatim. We fell silent when he finished the last stanza. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Sleep well, great one. You kept your promises to us, and may we travel a fraction of the miles you did.
So for those who know me, I'm obviously not Danica Williams Taylor. I am Donata Williams Beasley, but the words that I am reading are written by my sister. What can I say about my granny's little brother? If you needed words of wisdom with Albert, look no further. He could expound on many things, a plethora of topics, pulling from his travels from the continents to the tropics. He was a man of science, most specifically chemistry, touching many students' lives, making them all that they could be. He was a role model, a profound teacher, and a true scholar, no children of his own, but to yet many a caring father. What I remember most from childhood is a tickle monster to fear. Better run and hide under the bed if Uncle Albert was coming near. He really showed no mercy when he had you in his sights. The thought of getting caught in his tickles could keep you up at night. Through teaching and his travels, he touched so many lives. He couldn't have been more loved if he'd had 40 kids and 20 wives. He just had a way about him that is hard to put into words. When you sat and talked with him, you felt like you were heard. He called New York home in the snow and in the hills, but was never long away from the place we call the Ville. He built a marvelous castle and opened up its doors and welcomed all his family from the Williamses to the Fords. So a great man had his castle, and a castle a king. For us all to have been touched by him is such a blessing. But let's not be sad, he is being warmly welcomed home above. June, my gran, and Gloria are there to greet him with their love.
As a former English teacher, I taught my students that church is a noun. It is obvious to me that the people of Grace Creek Church, to them, the word is a verb. Church is not just a place to worship, but rather something that you do. Members of this church do it so well and with dedication and a smile. I grew up in this church, and I hope that I carry some of the traits of service that you have shown to our family during our time of bereavement. We want to thank Pastor McLaughlin for allowing us to bring Albert home. As Brother Eddie McCoy said, it's as if Albert came home to go home.
We want to thank Brother Neil Brown for his assistance and guidance regarding the burial. We want to thank Brother Tommy Butler for his assistance at the gravesite and with the video that ran during the viewing, and Brother Calvin McNeil for his technical skills with the streaming and recording of the service.
I want to thank the choir for what is a church service without some music, and the musicians for coming to our rescue. A special thanks to Renee for getting that going for us. I want to thank Debbie and the kitchen staff for their generosity and their willingness to serve. I'm sure that they could have been enjoying other things than being here with us today. And don't let me forget the ushers. I started ushering at this church, and I've been an usher in every church.
I've joined since. I moved away so many years ago. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Finally, let me thank Colvin Funeral Home for their kind and efficient service. Not everyone can do the work that they do, helping families who are in a state of bereavement to celebrate the life of a loved one. It takes so much patience and understanding and efficiency. I'm sure that I may have left out someone like my sister Mabel, who was Johnny on the spot with names and phone numbers if I needed. If I have not called your name, I am no less grateful.